Good morning. I am 5 minutes earlier today. As always, if you're watching in recording, you're welcome to fast forward or stay with us through our hellos. I am going to check the sound. Fast forward. Okay, the sound is good. Good morning, Yanni and Leo. Yanni says, I have been a mother for 26 years today. Yay, congratulations. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Mary. Both Marys. Good morning. Good morning, Zazu. All right, it is time for us to start. We've been discussing that in order to open up to real love, we need to acknowledge and accept all the parts of ourselves. But we all have those inner voices that tell us you are not good enough in different variations. And these voices are a huge obstacle to connecting fully to ourselves and feeling fully, truly loved. We may sometimes argue with those inner voices, but when we feel disconnected from ourselves or suffering from loneliness, it's very easy to fall prey to them. And of course, resisting their hurtful messages can be especially challenging in our culture that emphasizes ambition, competition, striving, greed, and perfectionism. Regardless of whether we believe or resist these messages, our in-house critic can keep us imprisoned by our own limiting beliefs, our own limiting thoughts. And through mindfulness, we can actually loosen our inner critic's hold on ourselves. Mindfulness can open up the space between our authentic self and our inner critic, enabling us to give less credit to the critic's incessant negativity. We can change our relationship to our experiences and feelings simply by becoming aware of them. And then we can begin to let go. When we start exploring all these inner negative messages, we notice that our inner critic lives in a world of absolutes, with very little room for nuance or gray areas. The inner critic's favorite words are should, always, and never. And the operating system here is blame. We may tell ourselves, you've blown it, you always do, or you should just give up, or you're so different, no one will ever love you. You're so flawed, you'll never be able to help yourself, let alone anybody else. Instead of creating a wide and open space for embracing our lives, the inner critic causes us to question our worth and collapse in on ourselves. And for some of us, the inner critic is a specific voice from the past. Your mother, your aunt, a boss who fired you, a teacher, an abusive partner. But we can work with inner critic, and it can be a sort of ongoing experiment. When we meditate regularly, when we're mindful, we are better at noticing when these self-deprecating or critical thoughts come. And then we can ask ourselves, would I talk like this to a friend? Or what would I say if a dear friend was being so self-critical? This can be really helpful to identify and disengage from our inner critic. Today, let's do a practice to start this conversation with our inner critic. So take a comfortable position, and as always, take a few moments to settle. Settle into your body, your heart, your mind. Settle into this moment, right here, right now. As always, your breath, natural, soft. No need to deepen or lengthen it. Just notice yourself breathe as a body. Allow all the experiences of the present moment to flow through you as energy. No struggle. And now take a moment to bring to mind one of the favorite adages, one of the favorite statements of your inner critic. What does this critical voice inside tells you most of the time? Just pick one statement and we're going to do a reflection around the statement now. First, notice how remembering this makes you feel in your body. Where do you feel it? What is the sensation like? What emotions does it provoke? Now step back a little and notice if your inner critic has a face, or is it just a voice? Whose voice or face is it? Can you tell? Notice the actual words that your inner critic uses in this phrase, in this statement. Are there words like always, never, should? Is there a blame of sorts? Now ask yourself, what is actually true about the statement? Do I really always do this thing the inner critic is accusing me of? Or never do something the inner critic thinks I should be doing? How true is all of this, really? Is your inner critic keeping you from trying something you might enjoy? Ask yourself, how would my life change if I chose not to believe this statement? What would I feel like if I didn't believe this particular statement? How would my life change if I didn't believe it? What would I feel like if I didn't believe it? What if I just say thank you to my inner critic for worrying about me, but remind myself that I'm actually fine right now, it's all good. So you can actually say it out loud or silently. Thank you for worrying about me, but I'm fine right now. It's all good. And notice, how does that feel in your body? When you thank your inner critic but choose not to believe the message. Where do you feel this? What is the sensation like? What emotions come up? What thoughts? It's just an exploration, so there is no way to do this wrong. And now place your hands on your heart and thank yourself for this powerful work that you've just done. Send yourself the energy of gratitude and loving kindness. Repeat after me, silently or out loud. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. in body and mind. May I feel safe, protected, at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I feel safe, protected, at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. I will do it one more time. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I feel safe, protected, at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. And now scan your body. Notice how you're feeling right now, physically, emotionally, mentally. How are you, really? And as you go through your day today, I invite you to continue noticing all these critical messages that come from within you. Are they always delivered by the same voice, or are there several different ones? Does your inner critic have a face or several faces depending on the situation, depending on the message? Are the words always, never, and should part of these critical messages? And every time you notice your inner critic showing up on the scene, can you just thank them for worrying about you and at the same time choose to examine the message instead of blindly believing it? What is really true about this message, about the statement? Enjoy this exploration. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a gorgeous day, and I will see you tomorrow.